I am proud to present to you for induction into the Ohio State University Athletics Hall of Fame, Bob Knight.
It's a hell of an honor for a guy that averaged 4 points a game. I'd like to introduce 3 people to you that I think you will really enjoy being here tonight. And they were 3 teammates of mine on that team that won the national championship. And I think one of the great things about that team was we were not only teammates, but we were good friends. And we've remained that way for all these years. And those 3 people I'd like to introduce to you, and you guys stand, are Gary Gerhardt and Dave Barker and Dick Furry. I appreciate very much here tonight 3 or 4 things. One, anytime I come back to Columbus, I feel good about being an Ohio State graduate. It was really tough for me when I was coaching in the Big Ten and had to go against Coach Taylor. And if we won, I didn't feel good because Coach Taylor's team lost. But when he won, I felt even worse because we lost. But it was a no-win situation for us. And I remember one night in St. John Arena, there was a bad call. And Coach Taylor goes out to the free throw line in front of the Ohio State bench, screaming at the official. And no technical foul was called. And I was a little bit perturbed by this, and I calmly walked down to the Ohio State bench, out on the floor, and I probably said something like, we only had 2 officials at that time, which is just a lot better than 3. And I said, I had doubts about your vision before the game, but I'm sure you didn't see Coach Taylor run out here on the floor to the foul line and chew you 2 out. And I end up getting the technical foul. I have to go past the scorer's bench to get back to where I'm sitting at the other end. And as I walk back, I remember in St. John's they used to have a square that said how many fouls guys had and different things at the scorer's bench. Well, I broke the damn thing as I went by. Didn't mean to, but it broke. And I got a letter from Ed Weaver, who was the athletic director at that time, and a bill. I sent the bill to Coach Taylor. And I said, "Dear Coach, I owe you for an awful lot of things. However, one of them is not breaking that foul indicator. It was at your end of the floor. Here's the bill. You pay it. Sincerely and gratefully yours." And so that was something that the relationship with Coach Taylor was great. And I hope that there are some people in coaching today that would feel about me as I felt about Coach Taylor and what I learned from him that helped me in the profession. I think that you're going to really enjoy Urban Meyer as your football coach. Tough guy. He's going to play by the rules. He's going to do everything the right way, and he's going to win. I think you're really fortunate in Urban as your football coach and Thad as your basketball coach. I love the way Thad goes about things. I really enjoy watching his team play. I sat through some workouts this afternoon, and here are 2 Ohio State sports that I'm close to the people running them and know that not just you, but we, all of us as Buckeyes are going to enjoy what they do. I want to thank my wife Karen, my son Tim. They're here tonight and they've been extremely helpful. to me in many different ways, both of them during the time that I was coaching. And in coaching, I'm often asked, well, what is success? How do you become successful? And, you know, I talk about things, cliche things. Well, I hate cliches. I just wrote a book called The Power of Negative Thinking. And in it, we tried to take every cliche known to man and change it a little bit. An example would be, Susie, come here and let Mommy kiss that scratch on your knee. Well, Mommy better have iodine on her tongue because that kissing won't do anything. Or another typical one. Don't worry, the sun will shine brighter tomorrow. Yeah, it'll just be a hell of a lot hotter, that's all. So, I was told this story, and it sort of sums up my career in coaching, I think. Boy goes in to see his dad. He's just passed the driver's license test. And he said, Dad, did Mom tell you about the driver's test? She sure did, Johnny. She told me that not only did you do well, but the state trooper that gave you the test said you had the highest score on the written and the mechanical part of the driving test, the driving part of any kid that he's ever tested. And boy, that's great. You should be proud of that. Well, Dad, that brings me to ask you this question. Am I going to be able to use the car? Am I going to be able to use the car once in a while, maybe to take Judy to the movie or something? And, well, son, I knew this day would come. And yes, you'll be able to use my car or your mom's car, but there are some prerequisites to this. Number one, I'm tired of Mom telling me that you kind of ride over your sister and your brother and don't treat them particularly well at times and don't do everything that Mom asks you to do. That's got to change, John. That's number one. Number two, last grading period, 2 B's. John, you're a straight A student. I won't accept anything less than straight A's. Number three, John, you need to read. I've told you since you were a youngster that reading is the foundation to education, and education the foundation to success. And damn it, boy, I want to see you read. And I want to see you read the Bible. Not for the religious significance, but just because there's something about everyday living that's good in the Bible. And then, John, there's one other thing. It's that damn long hair of yours. I'm tired of it, and I've told you I want it cut. So when you've got all of these things under control, John, talk to me, and we'll see about the car. As I said, this was kind of my way to coach all these years. And about 3 weeks later, John comes in to see his dad. And as he does so, his dad immediately says, Hey, John, I bet I know what you're here for. It's about the car, isn't it? And John said, Yes, sir, Dad. I wanted to talk to you now. I've tried to do the things you talked to. Hey, John, hold on a second. He said, number one, Mom speaks nothing but great platitudes about how good you've been to your brother and sister and to her and what you do. A+, John. And number two, the grading. Grades, John, my gosh, straight A's, A+, John. A+ again for you. You did so well in these 2 areas. And then reading, John. I see you reading every night. And once in a while, I see you leafing through the Bible. And 3 A+ for you, John. But now, John, damn, I told you about that long hair. And look at you. He's still got that damn long hair. And that was the 4th prerequisite, John. Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. You know, you got me to read, and I read the Bible. And in the Bible, Dad, I read that Matthew, Pete, John, Luke, Jesus himself had long hair. And his dad looked at him and said, John, you're absolutely right. And they walked their ass off everywhere they went. Now that was kind of my approach to coaching. And I, as a graduate, I think, along with all of you who are also graduates, will always feel indebted to having had an opportunity to go to school at Ohio State. And those of us that had athletic experience, even a greater thanks for what we were able to do and what has stuck with our lives since graduating from the greatest university in the country. I say to you that there is nothing in our lives other than our own families that I think we can be prouder of than the fact that we are Buckeyes. Thank you very much.